morning to everybody. So welcome again to our fourth You Learn Money webinar. So I'm so honored to speak to you again, and also to many of our audience who have been joining us for the past three You Learn Money webinar. So I believe today's subject is something interesting to everyone. It's from debt and liability to financial freedom. So a little bit introduction to those who are first time here joining us. I'm actually the CEO and founder of Money Compass, as well as You Learn Money. I'm also the organizing and founding chairman of My Life Association. My Life stands for Malaysia Literacy in Financial Education. So Money Compass, we are actually a media platform. We have three medium of languages, which is English, Bahasa, and Mandarin. And You Learn Money is a learning platform, and My Life is actually an NGO. So these are the some of the visual of our three media platform online. And today, let us ponder about this topic. It may be to some of you that this topic bring you some kind of expectation from debt to financial freedom. And a lot of people, they look at debt in a very negative and a very, very frightening manner. But what is actually debt to us? So today, when we look at Malaysia, this slide have been familiar to some of you who have been joining us, that 300,000 cases of bankruptcy actually happened in Malaysia in the year 2019. And this figure is alarming and increasing. And we can see that a lot of young people, millennials, they are asking for help. And the numbers showing us that almost 30% of this entire bankruptcy cases are actually from the young people. When you look at the debts, it can be from all types of commitment. It could be credit card, car loans, mortgage loans, etc. So we want to get up from the debt, because debt is something that it comes with interest, and it comes with a lot of pressure and stress. So for us, in order to achieve financial freedom, we have to determine, and make a strong decision, and to plan our financial welfare, well-being, and get out of it. Yeah. So how to exit from the debt? So the roadmap to financial freedom today to everyone, I would like to guide everybody to understand the truth and how to get out of it, and how to live a debt-free life and towards financial freedom. So of course, there are some warnings why people are in debt, because of they are overcommit to credit card expenses. It could be scam, it could be many reasons. But how to get out of it is we have to manage our money habits and money behavior, and the needs, wants, the repayment plan, spending habit, and also the saving habit. And how to live a debt-free life? We have to increase our earning capacity, learn investment, invest ourselves, and cultivate a prosperity mind. So of course, towards financial freedom, we have to take action. Yeah, let's begin. The most important skill in life, when it talks about financial literacy, it never taught in school and rarely in the home. So we are here through the You Learn Money platform. We have this financial literacy for young millennials with 70 videos. Later on, our colleagues Nadra will share with you. We want you, to take this opportunity to enroll into these three levels of financial literacy: setting your goals and financial attitude, saving and budgeting strategies, at the end, applying it in your daily life. So what is the difference between financial freedom and debt? When you look at financial freedom at this ocean blue color, it buys time, but the debt is waste time. It's net worth driven, but debt is income driven. It's goal driven for the financial freedom, the debt is work driven. For financial freedom, it pays self first, success is obligation, invest money, uses debt for investment, things with both, has financial plan, expense. All the positive side of it is making things happen, wits and studies, responsible, attention. And the debt is actually, all the negative side, like pays others first, work driven, success is evil, spend money, things like that. So, and you can see the two different. So financial freedom is responsible, reads and study, attention on the future, things in solution. So from here, you can see your character. Are you towards this financial freedom, or you are towards this being, locked down by debt? Because if you have a negative mindset, so you are towards a debt driven. But if you are positive, always stay positive, you are towards the financial freedom. So we have to align our thinking, align our mindset, align our mentality. Okay. Next. What is debt? It's created from many resources, like our spending addiction, living a lifestyle beyond your means. This is one of the reasons that how debt started. Sometimes it's because of greed. We invested in a wrongful investment, or sometimes is we buy property beyond our affordability. So it becomes our liabilities and debt. So you can either choose to be the master of money, or if it turns you to be a slave. So you want to be the master or the slave? The choice lies in your hand. So this is the 5 stages of personal financial independence. So just have a quick checklist on where are you currently. So at this bottom, it starts from financial instability. So this red color is not stable. And of course, they have debts, And the second level is financial stability. So this part is important, is the priority. So we must have, it covers our living expenses. The third part is the financial security. It covers our living expenses, and we have a secure mindset, and start to plan for our retirement. When it comes to financial freedom, during this moment, our priority will be comfortably relaxed. We do not worry about tomorrow, as there are some passive income coming in, and then you feel that financial freedom is at your door. And of course, beyond that, you can accumulate more wealth. After you achieve financial freedom, then your wealth will be accumulated. Then you can sustain a more comfortably life. And also, towards some of them, they can affordable from luxury, products or living. But it's a choice of life, okay, for everyone. Not every rich man living on a luxury lifestyle. Some of the rich men, they also live in a very humble way. So it's actually their own options. We have few pyramids to show you today. This is the financial freedom pyramid. So you can see the symptom over here and the key to success on the other side. If you are having the symptom of positive, you are having the symptom of success. If you're having the symptom of negative, you are towards the failure and struggling. So you can see if no saving, then you struggle. You are confronting like broke issues and paycheck to paycheck. And the second level is unpredictable saving. So it's not consistent, then but little bit improving, you have more extra income. And the third level, money is under control. And the fourth, financially free. So, and the other side, you can see from struggling, you can take action to manage, and then take action to grow, and take action to automation. So this is another retirement pyramid. Sometimes when a lot of people also, they like to compare financial freedom with retirement. So they say, I want to retire early. I want to be financial free early. I want to be debt free. No, so it actually, they compare it to retirement. So how are we going to climb up to this ladder to achieve retirement at our earlier age and also financial freedom? So learn first level to invest in yourself, to learn what is the meaning of compound interest, how to save more money and how to accumulate and control your account wisely, and try to avoid all costs. Try to, uh, not to spend on things which is not necessary or spend on things which is not bringing in accumulation of wealth. So this is a few simple stage for you to understand. So stage 1 is spend less than you make. This is the action. Stage 2, manage your debt. Stage 3, learn. And then stage 4, passive income and independence and freedom. But looking at it as it is like just a word, but to act on it, you need a strong determination and put it into action. Then how? Let us understand how to actually put it in action. The first action you need to do is you have to learn to save. Okay, save first and spend what is left. But the poor people, they do the opposite. So majority of the poor people, maybe they're born poor, but it's not their fate to last and end up poor. If they're born poor, but if they want to change their fate, they determine to start to go for income and earn a living. From there, they start save, and then they start to learn to manage their money wisely. Then they will change their fate. So let us look at the money behavior and habits. Over here, you can see that I categorize it into 5. The first category is when they have the income, but very little income. So the big portion of their income go to expenses, a lot of expenses. So at the end, they have no saving or little saving or even not enough for their expenses. So they are under income. We call them those paycheck to paycheck, and some of them also not afford to have a comfortable living. The second category are those average. So they have income, they start to put their income, they plan and put some income into saving. Then the balance, they go for expenses. And this is how we should begin, for the young people. We learn to gain our first income, we save, and then we plan our saving plan, and then we go for expenses. Eventually, when we have our family, we go to a society, we start to want to accumulate our asset. But some of these assets have to be connected to liabilities. Let's say like property, you have to make mortgage, or even some of these commitment that you start to commit, it becomes a liabilities. So, but if you don't juggle with it wisely, your liabilities is going to become a heavy debt to you. It's actually a debt. So that's why we are equally. The debt and the liabilities is almost similar. They are negative, you see. But of course, we don't look at all liabilities at a very fearful kind of impression. Some liabilities are good debt. When good debt, it will eventually turn into asset. But the most important thing is you have to be wise. Is this the liabilities that you want to take up as a certain phase of your life? You have to really be wise. Of liabilities, and then you have to balance for expenses. Your life is struggle. These are those people who have family and their children are going for higher learning education. You can see some of your parents are struggling because they have to make their living. If their income is not high, they have to pay their children to high school, and then with little saving, so they are struggling. So the third one, it becomes the blue colors, they start to look good. I mean, they have income, their liabilities is already becoming little because they have paid off their loans and all that. then their saving portion is start to increase more, and then their expenses is controlled, so it's good. But who is the one that actually rich, and their spending behavior and money behavior is reflected over here. They have a huge income, and their expenses is controlled little, so they have a lot saving, and this saving they input into investment, and then the investment make them rich. So at the end, the investment keep on bringing into the pool of revenue to their income, so it makes them eventually accumulating more and more wealth. So the next one, let us understand what is this compound interest, the rules of 72. This rules of 72 is a formula that actually reflect and is actually the calculation of interest. So if we understand the meaning of interest, we can wisely manage our saving and our interest, because a lot of our liabilities are connected to interest, and also our saving also connected to interest. Let us see here. How much time, in order to double your saving? Let's say saving. Okay, so you see, if your saving is 6%, over here there's a formula. So 72 divided by 6, so it takes 12 years to double the saving. So if you are putting $1,000, so after 12 years, you become $2,000. If the inflation over the 12 years also same as 6%, that means when come to 12 years, is actually equal. That means even you save 1,000, at the end, after 12 years, it becomes 2,000. You can only buy the same value of things, or products or things that you wanted. So it means here, when you have to combat with the inflation. So here I have an example of compound interest that make you feel more interesting of how you save and then how your money grow. So if you make a saving 20,000 a year, if you determine to make a plan, okay, every month you have to save 2,000, a very disciplined for 5 years, and then you stop. Let's say start this year, 2020. You set this goal. You must set a goal, and then you get you involve in some very positive investment, and you get an average return of 8%. So it can be some you put into saving, some you put into unit trust, some you put into stock, but make sure overall return you manage it at 8%. So at the end you divide, then it takes 9 years to be double. That means of 20,000, after 9 years it becomes 40,000. So if every year also you force yourself, to make sure you try to earn money and save money. You see, sometimes if your income is not enough, you do part-time or whatever, you do investment, you work hard, and then you save, you cut your expenses, you force yourself to save money. And you can see, you just need to a little bit suffer for 5 years, and you can see how much you accumulate actually. After 15 years, you have 20,000 and more, And today you start saving at 25 years old, you stop saving in year 30 years old. Say maybe the year 31, you have family, you have a lot of expenses and so on, but you don't touch this money. So 15 years ago, when you're 40 years old, you still have this money in your account. But actually you only put in the amount for 5 years is 100,000, but after 15 years, it's actually accumulated to 200,000 plus. Okay, so it's a good saving. So now you look at this financial pattern, which I have shown to some of you who have attended our earlier webinar. So the poor people, they put their expenses mostly into expenses. Middle class will go to liabilities and eventually become expenses. But the wealthy people, all their money, majority will go into asset. They keep accumulating because their expenses are very little, comparing with the amount of their income. So these are the pattern. You can remember. If you always remember this, it will remind you how you should spend. And for you to master your financial wisely, you have to learn financial literacy. And financial literacy is not only by saying things in concept, you have to act on it, and you have to understand how to look at these 3 important financial statements. In future, we will run more webinars, and some of these webinars can be a little bit technical, and even some of our You Learn Money courses we are going to curate for you will tell you how to manage your cash flow, how to manage your income statement and balance sheet. And of course, it involves goal setting, action, and also learn to evaluate. Action 1 is manage and monitor your cash flow closely and wisely. Action 2 is always have a positive income statement. What do you mean by positive? That means the input must more than your output. Your output is your expenses. Your input is your income and revenue, or your multi-source of income, whatever. Your debit must more than your credit. Always remember, the positive must more than the negative. The plus must more than the minus. Earning must more than spending. Then the action 3, always grow your net asset. This action 3 is actually your balance sheet. Your balance sheet is actually the investment or whatever. It can be property, that have appreciation, and also it brings in like rental income and so on. But property, if you are not wise and not affordable, it can become your major liability. In the past, there are also many cases that actually property caused people fall into bankruptcy. Things did happen. So any investment, you have to look at your affordability. So when we look at how to start to saving, I'm not a disciplined person. You may say, I do not know how to start. So here I would like to suggest you some of the budgeting apps. You can also Google around. Like these are very friendly. You can use your handphone to download. Like the main pocket guide, you need a budget, value, and all this. Okay, all these are for different purposes. And from here, you can start your budgeting app. Sometimes just with a record, a small little, 555 book. This is how our old people, they do their saving and records of their expenses, and they manage their cash flow. And this one I did share with you all before about a 50-30-20 budgeting rule. If your income is not high, you have to start from this. Force yourself. Some people say, I can only save 10%. Okay, this time you can save 10%. When your income grow, you have to save more, 20%. The more income you must control. You cannot set your income more, then you spend more. You save less. When your income is small, then the portion of saving is more. The investment portion is more. And your spending, you have to control and don't let it grow. This is how your wealth will be able to accumulate. Always understand your debt, whether it's a good debt or a bad debt. A bad debt is often have no value of appreciation, and then those liabilities, like credit cards, like this like luxury cars, say, the luxury car never appreciate, so it will become a bad debt if you are not affordable. Okay, so the good debt, like if you want to go for education, you want to invest on yourself, you take a study loan, this is actually a good debt. But good debt also have interest. If the interest is affordable and low, then go for it. Okay, so you must have a wise wisdom to understand what is good and bad. So poverty is happening everywhere. It's not only happen in the rural area, it happens in the urban area. A lot of people, when they're being stressed and they feel very depressed, and at the end of the day, they go to commit suicide. So we have here many news. We also feel very sad. That's why Money Compass and You Learn Money has been devoted, to elevate financial literacy, to help people to come up from their poverty. So you have to agree that failing to plan is planning to fail. So the formula of success is you have to take action. So we have this UPTI formula. You just try to remember UPTI, the understand the potential resources and limitation. Planning, you have to plan. Budgeting, action, setting goals, all this is in the area of planning. And direction, set focus. What is the goal that you have set, and what is the budgeting you have made? You have to follow focus, sharpness, and don't let anything distract you. Don't let your greed, and emotion, distract you. When you say, okay, I want to save 20,000, I must die down save 20,000. You have that kind of spirit in you. You have to don't suddenly you say, oh no, I want to go and watch movie. I want to, once a while you have to give some we call it the play money. You can also enjoy, but if you really determine, you have to sacrifice. Cut down, put only a little entertainment budget, but most of your budget go to saving and execution. Have to be determined and evaluation. So the next, this UPTI is actually an action, a very simple action. Whenever you feel lost and do not know how to start, or whenever you encounter a problem, it could be a financial problem, it could be a challenge in your life, when you feel so miserable and lost, it can be applied as well. So UPTEE, I used to encourage my young people to learn this, to understand, your problem, and to understand what is your SWOT. Just now I talked about UPTI. Now the next one, the important financial planner kind of action that we need to remember. This one is normally being practiced by any financial planner. They said this is the SMART rules and the SMART goals. So to everyone that want to get rid of their debt, they have to have a plan. Their plan have to be SMART. What do you mean by SMART? SMART is specific, and it have to be measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. But of course, this is still in a very manageable situations that you can manage it wisely. But if suddenly you are in a situation that your debt is too big that you can't handle, you have to seek for assistance. When you seek for assistance, go to the right people to seek for assistance. Like in our country, we have this AKBK, which is a subsidiary of Bank Negara. So they will offer the help and counseling to you. And even if to the stage that there are some insolvency or bankruptcy issue have to be encountered, you have to also encounter it positively. Don't take action like to run away or commit suicide. That is not wise. So what we mean is that is sometimes experience in life, but you have to come back, and because you host your own future. So of course, is for people who are confronting debts and also huge debts, is not easy, but positive thinking, positive mindset is important. So the personal financial plans process also, like what I have mentioned, we apply the UPTI, okay, which is assess your current financial situation, develop your personal financial goals, determine what action to take, then do evaluation and set your financial plan and review. But I know that this is only we lay down, in a simple manner. But in order to put into action, you need to seriously, follow step by step and cultivate the 12 habits. Set your life goals, make your budget, and each of these you have to learn, and you have to, seriously, maybe you can just, take a notebook and write down, take a nice notebook and put it as your book to set your goals. Then you write down your budget and write down what is your debt. And seriously, you want to confront your debts. Treat your debts like your enemy. You know, like those credit card, you know, if you really hate the debts, you have to cut off the credit card. But what I mean is credit card sometimes give us a lot of convenience. If you are a person who can manage your credit cards wisely, credit card is actually a very good convenience tool, financial tool, because it also records all your spending, you know, so it can give you a lot of analysis and evaluation. But if you are not a person that disciplined, so and you are already in debt, so the only way you can do is to stop bleeding by cutting off your credit cards. So you have to have automatic saving and things like that. Now, so I have 12 important suggestions for you. Okay. So take action and do checklist. So you list out your monthly income and expenses, create your spending plan, how you do, you know. Sometimes once a while, of course, you can still relax, you know, have a nice dinner, you know. But let's say maybe if you really want to do saving, you say, okay, 1 month I can only eat outside dinner for 2 times. Most of the time you have to cook at home or you eat very humble. But of course, make sure your food is nutritious and you know, so that your health is your greatest wealth. Still must take care, you know, your wealth. Even you want to save a lot of money, but take care of your wealth too. Okay, and force yourself to save at least 10%. This one is at least. But if you can save 50%, let's say your income is quite good and you have a lot of passive income, save more, you know, and then when you have more saving, start to learn invest. Invest carefully. Don't simply being scammed by people. You know, all your hard earned and hard saved money, if you're being scammed, you know, it's very sad thing. You know, you have sacrificed so much, you know, in order to accumulate your wealth, and then suddenly because of scam, all your money gone. You know, we have heard about a lot of the story of this unfortunate old people. They are being scammed, and all their retirement money are being scammed and lost. So the stages of wealth. So we have 10 stages from dependent, when we are you know, we have to depend on our family, like those B40. I mean, now if let's say they cannot earn a living, they are poor people, they have to depend on the government, you know, to give them pre-housing. You know, if they lost the job, then they become a dependent, they have to depend on the government, depend on the people to sympathize them, depend on the people to give them money. But this is not going to be long term. You know, let us learn to be independent. Slowly, we come up from our problem, come up from our solvency, we go for our financial stability, and eventually freedom. You know, then we start to be more excel, control our annual expenses. You know, then 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, you see, we could move up. Then we have security, financial independence with freedom. When we achieve freedom, the final level that we are going to achieve is we have abundance, we have wealth in life. But along the way, you have to also money is not everything. Of course, you determine financial well-being, but make sure you have a balanced lifestyle too. You know, you must have time with your family, you know, have time with your friends, you know, but it doesn't need to spend money, you know, go for party and go for luxury dinner. No, you can ask them for, you know, something like a more cost-saving activities, like go to jogging, you know, something like go to some sport activities. This will be a very good activities for you to also have a good time with your family or friends, rather than using it into all those spending. Okay, so call for action is dream. Okay, must remember, you must start with dream, set goals, and then you have to get the knowledge. Like how to get the knowledge? By learning, you know, online learning, like You Learn Money. And join a community can always advise and counseling you. The community is like my life, you know, so you can help. Also, don't remember, must remember, don't forget, You must help more people to change their life by sharing to them about financial literacy. You know, this eventually you will help the nation, you will help the society, you will help the community to become more prosper, and they can come out from their poverty and their difficulties. You know? From here, we can save our community, we can change the world. So again, I come to this financial literacy for young millennials. So I want to encourage our friends, you haven't decided and make up your mind, please, today, don't miss the chance again. Don't grab your opportunity and become our learners for You Learn Money. And this is my life, okay? When you go online, www.mylife.org, you can visit to our association website, Making a Difference, okay? So we actually attend the BANKRUPTCY Financial Education Network launching the National Financial Literacy Strategy. Okay, and this is about my life and the vision, New Malaysia, where each Malaysian is a responsible citizen who can make informed judgment and take effective decisions regarding the use and management of money. So we want to help our country, help our nation, help our Ministry of Finance and BANKRUPTCY together to join hands, become collaborators with them to help the whole nation, people to achieve financial literacy. So this is almost come to the end of my presentation today. Financial freedom just ahead. So what's your dream, and future goals in life? To be rich, abundant, and fulfilling. So you are the leaders of tomorrow. Make yourself dream and set your goal for financial freedom. Thanks to everyone. This is the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, you can take down my email and my phone number. You can contact me. I love to talk to young people, and I love to share with you my experience and my knowledge. I hope that I can be your mentor to help you along the journey to achieve your financial freedom. Thank you so much.